Hello everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to get all 5 endings in the April Fool's event for late July Midsummer. This is a really good Roblox game that I recommend you play in your own time, just heads up. In order to access the April Fool's bit, simply join the game, then click on the computer inside the house. This will teleport you to the April Fool's event. From this point on, there will be major spoilers, so beware. Even though there's spoilers here, this will not be a full playthrough, it'll simply just be a summary of what happens, so again, I recommend you play this yourself. Okay, so there are 5 total endings you can get. As for the background, you are a student who has been asleep for the entirety of your high school career, except for the last 4 days. You're waken up by your friend, then taken to school. On the first day, you have to talk to 3 people, Octavia, Agathe, and Eden. Octavia is an aspiring musician, specifically a pianist. Agathe is a dedicated artist. Eden is invested in literature. They run the music, art, and book club respectively. After you talk to all of them, the bell rings and class starts. You got this rather strange eldritch entity as the teacher, who just yaps for a little bit, and after class ends, you go home with Grier. Now the game actually begins. From this day on, your high school career ends in 3 days, and you must get close to one of the main characters to spend your spring break with. You have a total of 4 options, including Grier. Interact with them either before or after class. On some days, you won't be able to interact with them, so feel free to see what the other main characters have to offer. As for the 5th ending, simply failing a task and leaving your high school career to waste. Now we don't want that happening, do we? So let's get right into it. Let's start with Octavia. On the 2nd day, you cannot talk to Octavia before class, but you can after class. She will be in her club room with the club members. After talking to them, you'll be introduced to the 2 other club members. After discussing some more common interests, you say farewell. This is all for day 2. On day 3, you can talk to Octavia before class, but not after class. She'll be in the club room cleaning the piano, and if you choose to spend your time before class with her, she'll teach you some basics of playing the piano. After this, class begins and you are free to leave school however you'd like. Lastly, on day 4, you can talk to her after class and spend the aftermath of your last day with her. Together, you guys stop by a cafe Octavia often goes to. She then talks to you about her plans for the future briefly before she has to leave. That night, as you return to school, you reminisce for one last time, and Octavia stops you and you talk for a little bit longer. You make a promise to meet at the same cafe again the next day, and there Octavia plays a few pieces for you. You end up spending the rest of your spring break together, and wonderful memories are made. Octavia ending complete. Next up is Agathe. On the 2nd day before class, you can find her in the art room, and she'll offer to join the club at the rooftop for some canvas painting. The theme is clouds, which is somewhat difficult. However, talking to the other club members will help you feel better, and Agathe explains the background behind her interest in art. Class begins shortly after, and you don't need to do anything else that day. On day 3, you can find Agathe in the art club room with several members, and it turns out that they have some extra tickets to go to an art gallery. Going along with them, you get a chance to connect more deep with Agathe, who talks about her club and its management. The day ends as you walk with her back home. On the final day, you can see Agathe in the art room again cleaning up. After talking to her, you help clean up and she talks about how much she loves her club. However, unexpectedly, the club members host a surprise party for Agathe and bring some cookies. You talk to Agathe privately and share a few moments before class starts. That night, as you reminisce, you decide to return to the art room. Turns out Agathe is also there, reflecting on the year. She wishes she would have known you better and gives you a sunflower. You make a promise to go to the countryside to see even more flowers, meeting at a train station the next morning. In the train, Agathe's warm personality stands out, and you look forward to not just the countryside, but the spring break as a whole. This is Agathe's ending. Next, we have Eden. On day 2, you can spend your evening with her while she appears to be drawing something. She's pretty embarrassed and introverted as usual. The next day, you can visit her in the library before class, where a noisy student stresses Eden out. She resolves the conflict herself, and then you comfort her for a while. She claims that she is really nice, but things just got out of hand in the heat of the moment. Lastly, you can find Eden on graduation day before class. She appears to be distressed about something, which she later reveals to be a migraine. Taking her to the infirmary, Eden discusses her susceptibility to disease. She says that her sicknesses are the reason she has very few friends. However, she is very happy that you hang out with her. After class is over, you return to the school one last time to reminisce again. As you go to your homeroom, you see Eden sitting at her desk. You ask her why she's here, and it turns out that she was waiting for the nurse to return. She had spent the whole day in the infirmary, and before she knew it, graduation day ended. Eden then sums up the courage to ask you if she could spend her spring break with you, and then leaves with an embarrassed expression as usual. Having taken no contacts, you make an accurate guess as to where Eden is visiting the bookstore. As predicted, she is browsing through the fantasy section and you go up and talk to her. She explains that she didn't plan on leaving the night before without taking your contact, but was too flustered at the moment. At the store, she had been planning on buying you a gift, specifically a fish encyclopedia. She hands the book to you and gets her own book and checks out. Here ends the beginning of your spring break with Eden as you both head to the park to read your books. Last and certainly not least is Grier, the childhood friend. On the second day, you can talk to her in the classroom where she'll be eating some bread. You poke some fun at each other as usual and class starts a bit later. On the third day, you can spend your time with her after class since she usually has to stay for cleaning duty. Unexpectedly, she trips and falls flat on her face, to which you make a witty remark. However, she seems upset, so you apologize as the day comes to an end. Finally, on graduation day, you can spend your last day with Grier after school. You sit by her as she organizes a seemingly endless amount of paperwork, and after a while, she finally finishes. You decide to do a senior prank on the teacher and give the teacher a funny-looking nose and mustache as she's resting. Grier surprisingly wins, likely from the pent-up frustration with being given endless amounts of paperwork. As you prepare to leave school for one final time, you find a bright pink letter in your locker, obviously from Grier, asking you to meet her at the rooftop. Sharing a soda, you spend a few moments looking back on the memories you have and could have had. You make plans to meet up tomorrow and spring break commences. As usual, you sleep in again and Grier wakes you up. She takes you around town before stopping at an ice cream stand. Remembering the bet from the day before, you buy her a mint ice cream and you talk about old memories. Spring break with Grier will now become a timeless memory, as you can now see a new, honest side of her like the good old days. This is the last good ending of the game. If you are having any confusion with the events you have to do, I made a chart showing what events happen on what days and when, link in description. But honestly, it's not that difficult and it's more fun as an experience. Again, I highly suggest you play the game yourself and read the dialogues, since there are plenty of details I haven't gone into, such as those dialogues of the other characters that I did not mention. Personally, this game made me feel more value for the time that I have, and I hope that it holds some sort of meaning to you as well. Game link will be in description and any notes or corrections in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and again, apologies for the late upload since this was originally planned to release in April, but a lot of work that I had unfortunately delayed